My question is, how did you guys come together in the Sweety Treaty Show? Like, how did you guys start off? What was the original vision? How did you guys come together?
Right. Well, I think the original, like, if we were to tell the whole story, it's that. So while I was working on Trading Post 150, I had Wacy Little Light come to me. I remember sitting in the old library. So Mount Royal's got a new library. I really shout out to the old library because that was the best. So I was sitting at one of these old tables, and Wacy had asked if he can come talk to me. So he's got this notebook, and I think people who work with me after a while start to carry notebooks more because it seems to be how I work, and people dig it. So Wacy shows up with his notebook, and he's got all these ideas for a show, like this kind of visual, kind of like you would think like the major late night kind of shows, and he's got skit ideas, all these and Wacy is amazing for idea generation. Like his creative, I think, potential or creative kind of flex is really, really big. So Wacy came to me stoked, man, we got to work on the show together. And I was like, man, I feel you, but I got these projects I'm working on, and I'll support you doing it, but I can't take this on. Okay. Because I do tend to go pretty into whatever I'm working on. Right. So I really, not meanly, but I definitely choose what I'm working on and what I don't. And so anyway, so I was like, no, man, I'm good. So fast forward a year and a half, I was kind of doing some other things.
Wow, working on a year and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, at least I might even be getting this is just insert a large period of time.
Right.
And Wacy and I were heading down to the Blood Reserve, and we were just chatting about it, and I had kind of just finished another summer project, or was in the middle of a summer research project for school, and he asked me yo, you want to do this show? And I was like, yeah, that could be fun. I really try and be open, I think, to people's ideas, and talk it through, because that's part of that process for a lot of people. So I was kind of doing that. I was still non-committal, right?
Half, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, on
Mulan, when the guy comes in and dips his one toe in the water. Okay, that's what that's like. It wasn't even half in, half out. It was one toe. And so we're talking about it, and it's sounding kind of exciting to me. And I was reflecting on the different projects I worked on. For instance, I did another event called Stand Up for Mental Health. So we sold out Yuck Yucks and raised a bunch of money for student clubs on campus through putting 10 people who would identify as somebody who struggles with their mental health, and train them as comedians and put them on stage, and we killed it.
Word. That's awesome.
But I was reflecting on all these things, and it sounded really great, but it was also challenging work. There were so many moments when I was so stressed. So I was talking with Wacy about this show idea, and I said, yo, if we do this, we have to make this project for fun. We can't make it something that is just gonna create work, because the thing is, I can work really hard, but what kind of existence is that? You know what I mean? Just grinding all. Not saying that don't hustle. You gotta hustle, but
the outlet that you choose to in your free time should be fun.
That's exactly
Absolutely.
It. Yeah, and it. There's so many aspects to it. So the relationships that you build doing that art should be growing as well. And so if it's always just work, if you're thinking that way, it's really hard to relate with people in a good way. So I was thinking about all these things, how my relationships had carried past my last projects, and it was really important for me to do this in a good way that's positive. So anyway, so we're driving to the Blood Reserve. It's kind of this idea, but a week later we're driving back. Topic comes up again, and he's like, well, how do we we want to do this? And so it was Wacy who pushed to get the show started. And I was like, okay, and I still, maybe I'd put a foot in, not just a toe, but I've like maybe put a foot in at this point. And we booked a Thursday, I remember it was, and we had some folks show up. Actually, it was just Nick, DJ Nick, aka
DJ Nick. DJ Nick.
So Nick showed up, but we hadn't met before. That was the first time that we had met, and so we recorded this like 30-minute episode. You can find it now. It's called episode 0. It's on Wacy's SoundCloud, not on our Sweety Treaty Show SoundCloud.
Right.
Or any of the podcast mediums. But yeah, and we were like concerned. I remember one of the conversations we had was like, you know, can we really fill like time for can you really come up with things to talk about for that long? And and like the answer is yes, because we like talked for 30 minutes and it didn't feel like anything. We didn't like do anything in particular, and that's kind of like how the show kind of started. And then the following week, Elijah came, and there was this other girl that was there, and so the three of us were like talking, and I was like sharing, you know, we're looking to do something for fun. We're looking for people to work with, and you know, if you're interested. And the way Nick will tell the story, he might correct me. You should get DJ Nick on here sometime.
Yes, yeah. Definitely get DJ Nick on here sometime. Oh shit.
He thought it was gonna be this like dry kind of I hate to like say this, but like internal project, you know, like it was just gonna be something that people within the university wanted, not like some sort of creative student-led project. And so he got into it and started to feel it like could kind of see what we were trying to do. Elijah came on to kind of see what we were trying to do, and then we kind of made it official. I think I want to say it was like, you know, 6 to 8 episodes in or something. We had kind of said, okay, like we've made all these episodes now, let's like make this official. Here's our crew, 4 people.
So you guys had like pre-recorded shows before you even put them out?
No, they were going out, but this is like the thing when you're creating projects, it's not, you can't like always get everything in order. You know, you can't have everybody fully committed all the time. Sometimes it's like collaboration. You're just kind of like asking people to be a part of what you're doing and asking them to see how they feel about it.
Right.
And we didn't want to work here. So there's like some show philosophy for you. We don't want to work on something that we don't want to work on. And we also don't want to work with people who don't want to work on the show. Like,
absolutely not. That doesn't, yeah, absolutely. If somebody doesn't want to be on the show, then there's no point, right?
But people will still say, oh yeah, that's dope, man, I want to do that, da 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 da, you know, but they don't actually, like, you have to like get somebody who can be honest with how they're feeling. And some of that, maybe it's not always 100% there, but you have to try and get some genuine, I'm really interested in this.
So